We are live, sir.
Thank you, Ajay. A very good evening, everyone. I truly appreciate the students and parents who have joined us this evening. On a Sunday evening, I will say. And this all shows your commitment, your sincerity to be a part of this discussion, where we want to talk to you about why taking Lsat India exam is important, and also to answer your queries about the admission process, the scholarships, and any other question which you might have in your mind. So it's a good opportunity to catch up, and please accept my greetings from Anand Prakash Mishra, you all know. And I'm the Director of Law Admissions at OP Jindal Global University and an Associate Dean at Jindal Global Law School. It's a delight to welcome you all to this session. As the purpose of this session is to answer the question of students and parents, I will encourage all of you to put your questions in the chat box, in the Q&A, and we will ensure taking up each and every question during the session. My colleague, Mr. Abhay Oja, has also joined, who is a Joint Director in the admissions and the Head of Undergraduate Admissions, UG programs. So I can see more of my colleagues, Mr. Devjyoti and others have joined. So all your answers, all your questions will be answered either in the chat box by sharing of information or in the session itself. Now, before I start taking up questions, let me tell you why I consider personally it's important to take Lsat India exam for any law aspirant in the country. And I have 5 reasons. I have written about it also. If you Google, you can find some articles written by me in past. But the most important reason to take Lsat India exam is it's an extremely scientific test of reasoning skills as well as comprehension skills. Unlike any other law entrance exam, this is the only law entrance exam which tests your reasoning skills, which are the most important skills for becoming a good lawyer of the future. So if any student who wants to test herself, whether I have that ability, that interest, that aptitude to study law or not, taking Lsat India test is a way to know. If you secure a good percentile, by a good percentile, I mean, of course, a 90 percentile and above is a very good percentile. But any percentile above, say, 60 percentile or 70 percentile is a good percentile. If you secure a good percentile, that means you should study law. And if you don't, you have to think about your decision. There could be chances that you may not have prepared well, or there could be chances that you may do well in the field of law despite getting a bad percentile score in LSAT. But Lsat India test is indeed a way to test your aptitude for legal studies. This is a part of Law School Admission Council of the US, the LSAC, which is the organizer of world's oldest law entrance exam. LSAT is actually the world's first law entrance exam, which started in the year 1947 by Columbia University Dean, and later on taken up by law schools around the US, Canada, and Australia. And almost every law school which is member of American Bar Association, they take only LSAT exam for admission to their law school. So when Jindal Global Law School was started as a global law school in the year 2009, naturally, LSAT exam was brought to India and the Indian version of LSAT was launched, which is called LSAT India exam. So LSAT India test is the Indian version offered by the same body, Law School Admission Council, which administers LSAT for all the law schools of the US and majority of top law schools in Canada, Australia, and other parts of the world. The second reason I will say to take LSAT India test is at Jindal Global Law School, we don't accept any other exam, particularly for the 5-year law programs. So if you seek admission in 5-year BA LLB honors, BBA LLB honors, or BCom LLB honors programs at Jindal Global Law School, there is only way to. Global Law School has no seat in management quota. There is no foreign national quota. There is no NRI quota. There is no quota. There is no other way. The only way is to take LSAT India test to secure the percentile cutoff, which is determined by the admissions committee of the law school, and secure an offer of admission. Every year, my office receives hundreds of requests from students' parents where they have not taken LSAT exam and they seek admission. They have written CLAT, they have written some other exam. They come with all kind of scores, SAT score, ACT score, CLAT score, some other IELTS score, but they missed the LSAT India test for reason whatsoever. Now, our admission rules do not allow a student to join without a valid LSAT India score. And we have no option. We can't help those students. And we feel very bad about it. I'm saying not less than 200 students and parents approach my office, or even they reach out to the Vice Chancellor's office. In some cases, even Chancellor Mr. Jindal's office, seeking admission, but they have not done the basic thing, taking LSAT India test. So LSAT India test is mandatory requirement for admission to Jindal Global Law School, and that is why it's the important test which any law aspirant should take. I do not need to tell you that JGLS as a law school has come a long way. When we are talking today in 2022, JGLS is ranked 70th in the world by QS World University Rankings by subject this year. And students have started asking questions. Naina Mittal, I will answer your question about just post it once. I will take up all the questions. So if you look at the legal education scenario internationally, JGLS is uniquely placed in Indian context. Only 2 Indian law schools so far has been ranked internationally in the global rankings. Jindal Global Law School is one of them. And of course, the National Law School of India, University Bangalore, is the another law school which has been ranked twice in QS World University Rankings by subject. There is no third law school which has been ever ranked. And out of these 2, Jindal is the only one which has cracked into top 100 law schools of the world. The National Law School of India University ranks 151 to 200 rank. So that way, it's the ranked #1 law school in the country. And any law aspirant, in my view today, must think of exploring the opportunity to study law at Jindal Global Law School. The third is not just a test for 5-year law program. This is the test we use also for 3-year LLB program, which is strong postgraduate LLB degree program at Jindal. And our 3-year LLB program attracts students not just from top degree colleges in India like St. Stephen's or LSR or Miranda House or St. Xavier's and Loyola, but it even attracts graduates from top universities around the world, from King's College London, from LSE, from University of Massachusetts, from Boston College, from Boston University, from NUS Singapore, from University of Cambridge. Graduates from those institutions come to study LLB at Jindal Global Law School. This is also the entrance exam for one-year LLM program. Our residential one-year LLM program is arguably one of the most rigorous LLM programs in the country. And the entry to that program is also done through Lsat India exam. So Lsat India test is one test which is good for any aspirant of 5-year LLB, 3-year LLB, or LLM program in the country. Fourth region to take Lsat India exam. The fourth region is, this test is also in some way a scholarship test. At Jindal Global Law School, Lsat India test is not just the admission test for us. It's also a test which a score is used to make our scholarship merit list. You may be aware, this year the university has instituted 500 plus scholarships, exactly 512 scholarships for Jindal Global Law School students who will be joining the law school in 22-23 batch. Now, scholarships which range from 10% of tuition fee, 25% of tuition fee, 50% of tuition fee, up to 100% of tuition fee. There will be 15 candidates who will receive 100% tuition programs. They will be selected through Lsat India test merit list. The merit requirement of our scholarship list is determined by Lsat India test. And of course, there is a means requirement where the parental income should not exceed beyond a prescribed limit by the university, which is 30 lakh rupees. And we administer it strictly to ensure the scholarships reach to those students who otherwise may not afford to study at Jindal Global Law School. The last reason why Lsat India test, or if I have exceeded, is it's always important to write more entrance exams. Howsoever well you prepare, if you are taking one entrance exam, say CLAT exam, it can give you only one option to study law based on your rank and based on your preference. This option could be National Law School, Bangalore, or Nalsar, Hyderabad. This option could be one of the NLU in a far-flung area, or maybe some place which you may not be willing to go and spend 5 years. That may not be a law school of your choice. It will give you only one option. It's always important to take more exams so that you have multiple options, multiple law schools in your hand, and you can weigh and explore and take the call about the finest option you have, because you do an LLB or a BA LLB only once in your life. You do not do your law degree again and again. It's only first time you do your first law degree. Of course, you can go ahead and do an LLM or an SJD or PhD, but the LLB, the first degree in law, is the most important degree, I believe. I went to Campus Law Center in Faculty of Law, Delhi University in the year 2000. And I believe what I studied in my LLB formed the foundation for my entire legal education and career as an academic, as an administrator, as a professional. It was the LLB degree program. So it's very, very important to choose your first institution to study law carefully, and also to get multiple options. So it's important to take as many entrance exams as you can, and Lsat India will remain one of the most important exams. It's not just Jindal Global Law School, but 20 other good law schools which accept the entrance exam score, and places as well. Now, with these words, I would like to, finish my brief talk and take up your questions one by one. I will like to invite Abhay if he wants to share a few words before we could identify your all questions. So I can see a lot of questions. I think I should not wait, but start taking your questions one by one. Kanishka has asked a question about, is it possible to take admission without giving LSAT? I think some of my colleagues are answering the questions also, but I will be very candid with you. In 5-year law program, it's impossible to secure admission without taking LSAT, without qualifying the cutoff determined by admissions committee. It's mandatory to take Lsat India exam. All the students who are attending this session, for you and also for your friends who may not be attending it, please tell them. And you also make sure that before 8th of June, you must register for Lsat India test. It's a mandatory exam. There is no exception. Nobody can secure admission without taking Lsat India test. However, if you are aiming for an LLM program, a 3-year LLB program, or the 3-year undergraduate degree programs at Jindal Global Law School, we have a BA Honors program, which are our arts programs, I should say, a BA Honors in Human Rights, a BA Honors in Gender Studies, a BA Honors in Criminology and Criminal Justice, or a BA Honors in Legal Studies. We have a 3-year BA Honors program. You may secure admission even without taking Lsat India exam. You may take admission on the basis of your CLAT score, on the basis of your JSAT score, on the basis of other exam. But for 5-year law program, it's a mandatory exam. There is no exception. I hope I cleared your question. The other question I am seeing about whether accommodation is mandatory, or if I have a home in Sonipat, or I have a home near OP Jindal Global University campus, can I be a day boarding student? So again, I'll be very clear. The law school, Jindal Global Law School, and the entire university, OP Jindal Global University, is a fully residential university, fully residential campus. Residence is mandatory for each and every student. So even if you are son or daughter of one of our faculty member who is allocated a residence on campus, you cannot stay with your parents and study at the university. You have to join the hostel. You have to be in the student housing. I have a home within the university campus, near university campus. If my child wants to study, he has to go and join the hostel. Hostel is mandatory. There is no exception again to this, because we strongly believe the residential character of the institution is a very, very important aspect of our education. And I have witnessed, I am there for almost 11 years at JGLS, how that experience transforms individuals in a way which these day boarding colleges or colleges where students go from home, study and come back home, that model cannot, and particularly expose the students to that kind of, I will say, institutional experience. So residence is mandatory, hostel is mandatory for all academic programs at the law school. Now I can see questions. There are few questions about the LLM program. There is a question about 3-year LLB programs. I will certainly come to that. Shivans has a question about placement. That is a very, very good question. After 5 years, if I have to repay the loan amount. Very good question, Shivans. And this is a question which affects everyone, which impacts everyone. I must be very candid with you and all the students and parents attending it. A university or a law school is not a job placement agency. A university or law school is not in the business of, I will say, human resource recruitment or consulting. Of course, our students have taken up jobs almost at all top places. Every top law firm in India recruit our students. Rather, I will say other way, there is no firm which doesn't recruit our student is a leading law firm today. Some of the firms recruit JGLS graduates in highest number in their incoming associates every year. But the university is not a job placement agency. There is no guarantee or assurance of any job. Even if you go to Harvard Law School, you go to Oxford or Cambridge University Law Faculty, if any law school is assuring you jobs, that means you should beware. It's something which no university, no higher education institution should do. I will like to tell you, we are very, very careful about career aspirations of our students. In 2009, when our law school started, we came up with Career Development Placement Division. We were one of the first institutions in the country which started a faculty-led career office for our students. We took the responsibility to provide them internships, to help them in the entire process. If you look at even the job placements of our very first batch of BA LLB, which graduated in the year 2014, that was considered to be the 5th best in the country by a legal portal. Despite it was a batch which came to Jindal when Jindal was almost unknown. That was our first batch. That most of the students who came to Jindal came because it may not be their first choice. They may not be getting admissions elsewhere, or they took a leap of faith. And I'm in touch with many of our first batch graduates. They are amazing. They are doing so well. Some of them have rose to become even partners in the firms and whatnot. There are quite a few British tuning scholars, Commonwealth scholars. They have gone to Oxford, Cambridge, Toronto, McGill, around the world. And now they are working in India, in UK, in US, in Canada, in various parts of the world as trained lawyers. So I will like to answer the placement question is, if you are a good student, the university provides minimum 9 internships in a 5-year law program. 9 internships, you can convert any of them in a PPO, in a pre-placement offer. Many of our students are doing that. Many of our students are even securing jobs in 4th year, what we call day zero placements. Many students are even going for higher education at world's best institutions after studying at Jindal, and then they are exploring jobs. Many of them are setting up their own things, choosing entrepreneurship, choosing business, choosing other areas. A large number of our students are directly joining courts. good lawyers chamber today. Good lawyers means the reputed lawyers in the Supreme Court or Delhi High Court or Bombay High Court, the major high courts. You will find JGLS graduates working as associates, and some of them have become independent and doing fabulous work in different fields. So I'm very proud of our graduates, and it's their, I will say, contribution which has made our law school one of the top in Asia, one of the top in the world today. So as a student of law, taking up a job is one of the options. What if you want to become an IAS officer? What if you want to become a judge? What if you want to litigate? What if you want to work in the field of, say, social work or think tank or NGOs? Or there are multiple career avenues for lawyers. But if you want to take up law firm jobs, JGLS provides opportunities no less than any law school in this country. We have a dedicated Office of Career Services, and every leading law firm, we have proper MOU with 11 law firms in this country, and White & Case in the US. We have even organized a lot of international internships. This month, 4 of our students have joined the Supreme Court of Hawaii in the US as judicial interns. They are all our 4th year or 5th year students. Some 20 of our students so far have interned, have done judicial clerkship with the Supreme Court of Hawaii judges in the US. Apart from, of course, Indian Supreme Court and Indian High Court. So these all are opportunities given to students. But of course, it's not a hotel management diploma or a typical MBA program where the first thing which comes to you after your degree is a job. I will move to another question. Aryan has asked about, after scholarship, can I get an financial aid? And Aryan has also asked, what is the financial aid procedure? So I will explain scholarships a bit before I am taking up other questions. How our scholarships work. First and foremost, Jindal Global Law School and OP Jindal Global University is a private university. Now, of course, it is recognized as an institution of eminence, one of the only 20 universities by Government of India, and also recognized as one of the top 3% of the universities globally. But it remains a university supported by a private initiative, which doesn't receive any funding from the government, from the public, from anybody. It's absolutely self-supporting initiative. All the scholarships which are given to students, they are given out of university budget itself. University institutes that. University is actually not bound to do that. But why university does that is to attract the bright students, is to ensure those students who have secured admission by merit, but who may not be joining because of the cost, who may not be able to afford the cost. And if they are receiving some scholarship, some financial support, they may join the program, they may complete a degree from the university, and they may become proud students of Jindal Global Law School. And therefore, the scholarship fee concessions. So it ranges from 10%, 25%, 50%, and 100%. The number of scholarships are limited in each of the slabs. Of course, there are very few in the 100% tuition fee, but there are substantial number of scholarships in 50% tuition fee and 25% tuition fee waivers, which is again substantial fee waiver. If we look at our 5-year law program, for 5 years, you receive a substantial fee concession if you qualify for that scholarship. Now, ideally, students who are getting scores above 90 percentile in Lsat, they are eligible to receive a scholarship I will say every student who gets a LSAT score in the range of 90.00 to 99.99 percentile is eligible to receive a scholarship at Jindal Global Law School. There is only one, I will say, exception. There is only one additional rule, that the parental income should not exceed the limit prescribed by university, which is 30 lakh rupees. And this means the annual parental income evidenced by the ITR, by Form 16, by any other salary certificate. So if your parental income is less than 30 lakh, and if you get a score above 90 percentile, you will certainly study on a scholarship. There is a guarantee. In other programs like 3-year LLB, 1-year LLM, and even our BA honors program, the cutoff could be 80 percentile. And if you secure a score above 80 percentile, you become eligible for that. But scholarships are awarded absolutely on merit cum means. We do not have any merit scholarship. We do not have any scholarship which you can get irrespective of your parental income. There is no merit scholarship. 100% of the scholarships are merit cum means a scholarship. Merit is determined by your LSAT India score, your entrance exam score. Means is determined by your parental income certificates. So I hope I am clear. And a scholarship merit list is prepared after the admissions are completed in the month of, I will say, July this time, because your exams are during 22nd to 25th June. In the month of July, we will receive the result and complete the admission process. And you will come to know about your scholarship situation as well. But certainly, if you are getting a 99.5 percentile or 99.9 percentile, you may get 100% tuition fee waiver as well as per scholarship rules. And we give an idea to every student who qualifies for a scholarship, what a scholarship he or she could expect at a particular LSAT percentile score. If you have less than 90 percentile, you secure admission, but you have to study in full fee and you have to budget your cost accordingly. So I hope I explained the scholarship rules clearly. Everything depends on your LSAT exam score, and it's important to take the entrance exam with as good preparation as you can. I will even encourage you to go for the LSAC Law Prep course. LSAC provides 10 question papers for practice. You can purchase that on LSAC discoverlaw.in website, the same website where you register for LSAT India exam. And I'm sure you can prepare very well based on the feedback, based on your performance in the 10 model question papers, which are almost the replica of the question paper which is asked in the exam. Though LSAT India is a very scientific test, every question is an original question, and the question paper is developed in the US in LSAC headquarters in Pennsylvania. And they are, of course, each question is unique, original, and asked only one time. In my knowledge, it's never repeated, but you can identify the pattern, you can practice similar questions, you can develop the reasoning skills which are needed to solve those kind of questions, and you can even take help of some mentors, some faculty members who train for LSAT or exams like CAT and GMAT or sometimes even CLAT. So more questions I should be taking. I can see Abhay also joining me. So I will request Abhay to identify a few questions and introduce yourself and also answer them.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining. So there was some technical glitch because of which I could not switch on my camera. So still I'm facing the same, but I think I'm audible and visible to all of you. If I'm audible and visible, can you all raise your hands? Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I can see a question, sir, which has just come up. Is the admission given immediately after the first LSAT exam, or do we have to wait for the second to complete also? So technically, the admission is given immediately after your results is declared and you qualify the cutoff of the examination. But your session begins after the second LSAT result also comes out. So technically, the session for the first LSAT and the second LSAT began at the same time. So 1st of August is the date when we commence with the session for this year. Okay, so be it the first LSAT examination or second LSAT examination, the session for both will commence equally on the same day. I hope that's the answer to the question. Apart from that, there is a question pertaining to sir 3-year law. Uh, they are asking that can we go for a 3-year law? So LSAT India is obviously the standard test which we accept at General Global Law School across all the programs. So if you want to study a 5-year law program, be it your BLLB, BBLLB, or a BCom LLB, or even if you want to go for a undergrad degree, right, like a criminology, gender, or human rights, or even if you want to go for an LLM, or you want to go for a 3-year LLB program also. So the LSAT India is the standard test, the score of which we accept across all the courses. But now, if you want to have another way, like you don't want to wait for the LSAT India test because that's happening, twice in the year, and you don't want to wait for that, and you want to, get admission on an early basis, you can actually schedule your JSAT law examination. So JSAT law is also an examination which is on the very similar lines of the LSAT India test, right? So if you want to secure admission in a 3-year law program, JSAT law is also one way through which you can actually get admission in the 3-year law program. But obviously, it's advisable to take LSAT India also. So JSAT law and LSAT India, both the tests are equally, important for you to get admission in the 3-year law program.
Yeah, great, Abhay. I could see more questions, and 3-year LLB, I'm seeing actually questions from about from Iram Siddiqui, and Savita had asked about cutoff. There was one more question about 3-year LLB. I can tell you a bit more about it. I understand that majority of students here might be for 5-year law program or undergraduate program. But 3-year LLB program, I should say, I did a 3-year LLB program at Campus Law Center. Some 22 years back, I joined my LLB in the year 2000. And of course, in those times, we always believed that Campus Law Center could be possibly the best place to study 3-year LLB program in India. If today I look at the program which is offered at JGLS to our students, the kind of courses, the kind of academic rigor which is put in, the kind of electives which are offered, and even the kind of opportunities they receive in terms of exchange programs, in terms of dual degrees and other things. I will come to that question as well. A student has asked about exchange program. I have no doubt in saying that the LLB 3-year program at JGLS could possibly be the best 3-year LLB program in the country. Only thing better or comparable, you can, if you go to say Harvard or Columbia JD programs, they are also 3-year LLB programs called Juris Doctor in the US. So those programs could be superior, could be more sought after internationally, or academically as rigorous or more, I will say. But in Indian context, I have no doubt in saying that the JGLS offers the most rigorous, most serious and comprehensive 3-year LLB degree program today. And I'm very happy to tell all of you that even National Law School of India University, Bangalore has started a 3-year LLB program this year for the first time. So I look forward to, the first batch will be admitted this year. So we have to see how it comes up. But I'm sure with an institution like Bangalore Law School, it's again going to be one of the finest 3-year law programs. Another good program is the program offered at IIT Kharagpur, which is an LLB in IP law. but that is open only to BTech graduates and those who are having B Pharma or MBBS or MSc degree, a 4 or 5 year degree in science or technology. So that is another good 3-year LLB program. But for any graduate in humanities, commerce, and sciences, I don't see anything parallel to what JGLS offers as a 3-year LLB degree. And you must explore every institution, but ultimately you will, if you do your own research, you will find this. Now, regarding admission, LSAT India is important for 3-year LLB program. But what Abhay told you about JSAT law test, that is also acceptable for LLB and LM programs. And rather, I will say it's preferred because it gives you an early admission. So if you seek an early admission, go for JSAT law test. You can schedule the test anytime. And my colleagues who are present in this session and whose numbers could be given in the chat box for 3-year LLB, you can contact Ms. Harkiran and other colleagues. You can receive their numbers, talk to them, they will schedule your exam. But for 5-year law program, there is no option but to take LSAT India test. So I'm glad there are so many questions coming up. One very good question students have asked about exchange programs or what opportunity JGLS has in terms of international education. So I will be candid with you. Being a keen observer of higher education and legal education in the country and of course around the world, I don't see any law school in whole of Asia. And I say this with all responsibility and based on my research. I don't know about law schools in the US and maybe some of the law schools in Australia or UK, which might have come up with more collaborations. But no law school in Asia has more opportunities than Jindal in terms of international education abroad. We have 3 forms of, I will say, education abroad opportunities. One is semester exchange program, which you are asking. So JGLS has tie-up, our university has tie-up with over 350 institutions around the world. Some more than 100 universities facilitate semester exchange with our law school. And they are top schools in the US, in Europe, in Asia, in Singapore, Hong Kong, in China, in Australia, around the world. Semester exchange programs are highly competitive, highly selective. Your academic merit must be very high to get selected for it. In this program, you are selected to spend 1 full semester in a partner law school, in a partner university, where you don't pay any tuition fee because you have paid the fee at Jindal, but you get a chance to study at a top international school, even at Cornell in Columbia, at Queen's University in Canada, or Osgood Hall, or Melbourne Law School, or anywhere Singapore, or King's College London, or Queen Mary University London, a lot of places. You can study 1 semester and come back. As a student, you have to organize your travel and accommodation. And that's it. I mean, the tuition, you don't have to pay. It's very, very selective. And it's a great opportunity if you are able to secure it. The second opportunity which university provides is short-term study abroad program. So there are 14 short-term study abroad program happening now. We have a dedicated summer school with Oxford University. Some 60 to 100 of our students go to Oxford University summer school. We have a dedicated summer school with Harvard University. We have a summer school with Columbia University. We have one with Fletcher School at Tufts University. And then we have summer schools in Spain with ISDE, in Tilburg in Netherlands. We have done summer schools in Istanbul in Chaos University, in various other institutions around the world. When I say dedicated summer school, it means only Jindal students, only Jindal Global Law School or OP Jindal Global University students are eligible to take it up. We have also a summer school with the Wharton School in the University of Pennsylvania, which is #1 business school in the world. These all summer schools are exclusive Jindal summer schools, where our students are given opportunity to go and study there for 3 weeks. And it's all courses taught by professors in those institutions. Here, it's mostly open to all students, any student. I personally know students who have, like, during a period of 5 years of their stay at Jindal, I met a girl student who went to Oxford, Columbia, and Melbourne, 3 top universities, 3 top law faculties, doing the summer schools during the 5 years of stay. One may do 1, 2, or more summer schools during your 5 years or 3 years of law program. You may choose not to do any, because the time you spend there, you may go for your internships, you may do other things. It's not a mandatory requirement, but we encourage students to take it up. The third thing is a dual degree program. We are the only law school in Asia which have a dual degree LLB JD program with top American law schools, including Columbia University, Columbia Law School. We have dual degree JD program with Cornell. It's not Columbia, it's Cornell Law School, and with Indiana University, Bloomington, with University of Arizona, and with quite a few more institutions, even with the Franklin Pierce Law School. And these programs are so well suited to make you a qualified lawyer in 2 different jurisdictions at the same time. That means a qualified lawyer in India, as well as a qualified lawyer and attorney in the US after completion of the dual degree. In the dual degree program, after 4 years of your study at Jindal, you go on an exchange program to the partner US university and study there as an exchange student for 2 more years, and it becomes a 4+2 program. In the 3-year LLB program, it becomes a 2+2 program. And the requirements are, of course, academic requirements are high. You should not have failed any paper spending. You should be getting a particular grade point average, a particular CGPA to be eligible to apply for, say, Cornell University, Cornell Law School JD program, because you get an advanced entry. You study in 2nd year JD, and you are saving 1 year time here and 1 year time there. And it's a substantial saving of money as well as your time in earning 2 law degrees, one from India and one from the US, in a reduced time period. The 4th kind of collaboration is, even we have a 4+1 or 2+1 LLB, LLM pathway program, where our students can go and study at some of the top institutions. In the final year, they go as an exchange student and pursue an LLM degree, which the credits you receive there are transferred and that form part of your credits here, completing your LLB degree here. So there are multiple pathways which university has created, and university has taken a lot of efforts in doing this. Today, I think more than 200 students from Jindal Global Law School pursue education abroad opportunities every year. Only this year in 2022, 60 of our graduates have joined world's top law schools and universities for LLM program. They have joined Cambridge, they have joined Oxford, They have joined King's College London, University College London. They have joined NYU, Columbia, Cornell. They have joined University of Pennsylvania, Stanford Law School. They have joined Michigan. They have joined London School of Economics. They have joined NUS Singapore, Melbourne Law School, Sydney Law School. Almost most of the top 50 universities, law schools in the world only this year. And almost every year it is, it's a regular exercise. So on any of the top international campuses, if you go during any time during the year, you'll find a Jindal student, one or more. And there is a small community. If you look at London, or even, I will say, Melbourne, or even Ontario in Canada, where quite a few of our graduates have secured the membership of the bar, and even working in the law firms, working in the companies. Recently, I came to know some 3-4 of our graduates working in Germany, in some German law firms and German corporations in their legal departments. So international exchange programs and international education opportunities are indeed unmatched. And I don't think any law school can even think of what JGLS does in terms of providing opportunities to our students in studying abroad, in studying at top international institutions, as well as securing opportunities internationally. And that is also one of the purposes, one of the regions of our existence as a global law school, that the lawyers who are trained from the portals of JGLS should not just become domestic lawyers or Indian legal sector, but they are qualified and competent to handle legal issues, to work as a lawyer in any foreign jurisdiction, in any foreign country, in any part of the world. And actually the graduates are doing that. So I'm extremely proud of the fact, and I'm happy that you asked this question. We have only 10 minutes left now, but certainly I will be, some anonymous attendee has asked the fee for Lsat exam. You should go and check Lsat India website, www.discoverlaw.in. 3,800 rupees is the test fee. There is a 10% of discount you receive if you put a code called JGLS10. It's available for those students who are attending our session, those students who are, who are aspiring to study at Jindal Global Law School. Another anonymous attendee has asked question about, is this an autonomous university? So my dear friend, in India, we do not have a concept of autonomous university. Every university is autonomous university, actually. The universities are mostly of 3 types or 4 types. One are the central universities set up by Parliament of India, like University of Delhi or JNU or Hyderabad Central University or BHU. Then there are state universities set up by a state legislature, state governments, and I'm talking about a state government university. The third is a state private universities, which are set up by the state legislature again. Like OP Jindal Global University was the first private university set up by government of Haryana by passing a law in the Haryana Government Assembly. And now there are more than 20 or maybe 25 private universities in the state of Haryana. Likewise, every state government has created a state private universities. The fourth is deemed universities, where under Section 3, UGC recognized certain institution to be university in recognition of what they have delivered as a standalone institution, sometimes as colleges. So they are called deemed universities. So our university is a state private university, but now it is elevated as an institution of eminence, and in a way comes directly as one of the top 20 universities in this country, which are declared to be institution of eminence by Government of India. and who have the mandate to compete with universities internationally and be a part of top 500 universities in the world. So very, very few universities, only 10 public and 10 private universities have been accorded this recognition. And I'm very proud to tell you, OP Jindal Global University is one of them. So it is both a state university by its establishment and an institution of eminence recognized by Government of India under Ministry of HRD, Ministry of Education. So that's about the university. Asmi Puri has asked about BBA plus LLB. Of course, we have a BBA LLB honors. You can do that. Kanishka is facing difficulty in filling LSAT form. I will ask you, Kanishka Bansal, go to LSAT India website. They have toll-free numbers. They have an email address, discoverlawindia@lsac.org. You send your query to them. They will certainly answer this. Tanya has asked a very good question. What is the student-faculty ratio? So Tanya, at Jindal Global Law School and OP Jindal Global University, it is one of the finest faculty-student ratio, not just in India, but whole of Asia and around the world. Right now, we started with a faculty-student ratio of 1:15 in the year 2009. We brought it to 1:13, 1:12, and believe it or not, now it is 1:9. So if we have, say, a total of 8,000 students on campus, we have 900 faculty members. So 1:9 is the present faculty-student ratio. Only thing better you could see in maybe Yale University and Harvard University. Some of the American institutions maintain 1:7, 1:8 faculty-student ratio, but certainly none of the Indian institutions could match this faculty-student ratio. So you should be assured of that. And this also gives our students, I will say, an unparalleled opportunity of research in any area of your choice, because if the law school itself is 500 full-time faculty members, in any area of law, there are some 20 to 30 scholars who are researching, who are running projects, who are writing, who are publishing, who are working in that field. So whether you want to specialize in human rights or intellectual property, space law, or I will say environment, labor or tax, constitution or crime, whichever area you choose, you will have a pool of professors to choose from and work with. And that is why we have some 25 research centers only in the law school, handling different areas of law, where students work along with the professors, and also in various research projects and research institutes on campus. How much a score is good in LSAT? Very good. This is another good question. Aryan has also asked this. Aniket Sharma has asked this. There was a student who asked about 3-year LLB program cutoff. So I will tell you how this cutoff works. And I will give the example of our latest admission year, that is 2021. In 2021, that means last year admissions, we issued offer of admission to every student for our BA LLB honors, BBA LLB honors, and BCom LLB honors program above 80 percentile score. This was done on 21st June, the same day on which LSAT results were declared. So generally, the students receive their offer of admission on same day when LSAT results are announced. Next 48 hours, in 2 days, 21st and 22nd June, actually it was less than 40 hours. All the seats in the BLLB honors program were taken up, and all admissions were closed above 80 percentile for the BLLB honors program. Now we had seats available in BBLLB honors and BCom LLB honors program. We reduced the cutoff from 80 to 70 percentile and issued admission offer the very next day. So it's a dynamic process. We did it on 22nd. On 23rd and 24th, all the seats in BBA LLB honors program were filled and admissions were completed. Then we reduced the cutoff to 60 percentile, and all the seats above, it was actually a new program started last year, but it's all 3 5-year law programs are exactly identical and same. All the seats were filled. So the last candidate admitted in the 5-year law program was a candidate above 60 percentile score in 2021. So this is how in last 5 years, the cutoff has been uniform above 60. It depends if there are withdrawals or refunds later, and if cutoff goes a little down. But generally, for a good student, I will say, who is preparing for the exam, you should always aspire to get at least 80 percentile score in your entrance exam to be on a safe side. And by 80 percentile, never think 80%. It has to be, you have to be in top 20% of test takers. And if you prepare well, it's not a difficult thing. Tanya is asking question about number of seats available. We have 5 sections of 60 each in BLLB honors. So we have 300 seats in BLLB honors program. We have same 5 sections in BBLLB honors, but we have only 3 sections in BCom LLB honors. So it's like, if you look at your chances, your probability of admission in any of the 3 programs, you should be aiming for at least 60 percentile score. But if you are aiming for a program of your choice, you should be aiming for an 80 percentile score. In BBLLB honors also, we have 5 sections, as I told, 5 sections of 60 each. So 300 seats we have in BBLLB honors program as well. And in BCom LLB, we have approval of 3 sections, that is 180 seats. So it's, though every class is a class of 60 students, and that is the limit, but the overall, the class size is like 60 students per section and 5 sections in each program. In 3-year LLB, we have approval of again 5 sections of students. So it's like the university can admit 300 students, 5 sections of 60 each in our 3-year LLB program as well. I think we have covered most of the questions, and our time is also getting up. Now I can see some other interesting questions. Someone who wants to combine law with technology and want to become a law technologist. So Chokchita Andhra has asked this question. Very interesting question, Chokchita. And I should say, we have a robust technology law, intellectual property rights, innovation laws, and even cyber laws. You can imagine the faculty strength in a way that our university has a dedicated research institute called JIRICO. You can Google and find out. It's called Jindal Initiative for research in innovation and competition law. And Jericho got a funding from an American corporation called Qualcomm, a substantial funding which helped in multiple research produced by our faculty members and students over a period of time that got into various books, research papers, even a technology law Mootway did. So if you want to specialize in technology law, because of course technology is the future, which may include areas like intellectual property, cyber law, innovation and related laws, biotechnology and related laws, even pharmaceutical industry and related laws. If you want to go into that field, JGLS has substantial faculty resources who have done not just research into these areas, but also run projects, live projects in this, where students can join and work with the faculty members if they have keen interest in that field. So I'm happy that you asked this question. And now I think we have answered almost all the questions. And thank you so much, everyone who joined this session, who actually found time on this Sunday evening to be with us. We'll be doing few more sessions like this. There is another question which I could not answer. Possible career path for 3-year BA Honors Legal Studies. I'm so happy you asked this question about BA Legal Studies. You'll be delighted to know the 3-year BA Honors in Law or 3-year BA Honors Legal Studies program was first and foremost started in India by Jindal Global Law School. It's not an LLB degree, it's a BA Honors degree. We consider it at our arts degree program after class 12. But the beauty of this program is, one, if you want to become a lawyer, it gives you a direct entry in the 3-year LLB Honors program. So if you have done a BA Honors Legal Studies at Jindal Global Law School, you have a secured admission to LLB Honors program at Jindal Global Law School itself. At the same time, you have an exit option. After 3 years, you receive your BA Honors degree and you move on to join any other university. You can choose any institution in India or abroad, any field including law or management or public policy or whatever. The other, I'm saying, space studies is, it gives you a strong academic background in law. You can take civil services exam. You can take any exam where an undergraduate degree is a requirement. And you have a liberty to move to other disciplines. So in some way, I find this 3+3 format of studying law even more interesting. I did a 3-year BA Honors in economics in my, and I certainly believe someone who is doing a BA Law or BA Legal Studies and comes to LLB, the student is going to be more profound, more research oriented, and study law in a more rigorous and, I will say, profound way. And maybe becoming the finest LLB students and graduates. So one can certainly think about 3+3 pathway if you are not having that clarity to go for a 5-year law program in one go. Because that is another challenge a lot of students face when after studying for one, they feel like leaving the program or getting a degree early or leaving after 3 years, and there is no exit option because it's a regulated program. Bar Council of India rules clearly provide that you get your degree only after 5 years. So I'm Very, very thankful for asking that question about BA Legal Studies. So with this, I will like to close the session. I will again thank every participant who was here, and more so who asked questions and attended this today. I will like to invite you to the university. If you are free, come with your family and be a part of the campus. And all the best for your law entrance exams. Wherever you go to study law, law itself is a great choice, and you will certainly do well and shine brighter. So have a great evening, and thank you so much.